Hello, Madeline. This is Dr. Brown. In your emails, I can tell you're under a little pressure to try and catch up. So maybe this video will help. You're looking at the instructions for the Module 2 reading log. It's under Module 2 right here. And you'll see, scroll down right here, reading log, Module 2 reading log. I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to show you where you can get the information you need to help you understand the books that you'll be reading and reporting on for this assignment. You're going to look at traditional literature, which is like fairy tales, fables, those kinds of books. Then you're going to look at multicultural literature, which you're probably pretty familiar with from school, and this can be a wide range of cultures. Then modern fantasy, which is popular right now. Many of these books are written for older students like middle grade and upper elementary, so they would take a little longer to read. Have to be a quick read on these. And then basic genres in children's literature. So if we look at that, you'll see it takes us to a wiki book. For the course, you had two books. You had an online textbook and a regular published textbook by Sylvia Bardell is the author's name. I'll go back to that in a moment. Right now, to start out with, you can read the wiki books. That this is a kind of a abbreviated version of the book, the textbook that we have our assigned readings in, children's literature and action. So just to clarify, we've got two textbooks for this course. We have Wikibook that's linked here, and then the regular textbook. And let me see if this link works. This is one of the books that is, there it is. It is offered through Joiner Libraries e-textbooks, and I've sent out a couple of links to this. We've had some problems. Joiner had a little bit of a problem getting it linked, but it is linked now, and you can access it through the e-textbooks. You don't need to worry about leaving it at home. It's available. If you've got your computer or even your phone, you can read the books. Now remember the assignment, if I go back, the official assignment starts on page 81, and then it goes to 113, and then there's information on modern fantasy starting on page 221. Now that's a lot of reading in addition to the 6 books that are required. So you want to work this out the best way you can, along with your other courses and requirements beyond 4950. So let's again just look at traditional literature. You can see this is a quick read. There's not a lot to read here, and it's written and formatted in a way that it's easy to read through and understand what we mean when we say traditional literature. And these are some of the favorite books of all time that many of us have read from childhood on. They also include some suggestions for traditional books. These are also in your textbook, your official textbook, Children's Literature in Action. But this quick read right here is going to help you get your assignment completed. Now let's look at the next one, multicultural literature. This link takes you again to the wiki book, and you can see this one is a little longer because multicultural books are rich in content and very popular right now. So you can look through here and see some of the books that have been recommended for multicultural reading. Then modern fantasy. Again, right here, it explains what are the characteristics of modern fantasy. some of the most popular are like The Hobbit, because these are movies from the modern uh, fantasy type books. And The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is a popular children's book that most everyone has heard of. So you want to read that. And then the last one, basic genres in children's literature. When it says basic genres, it means there's more than one genre within this particular reading. There's not much here. Poetry is included. And so there are a number of children's poetry books that you could have a quick read and include that for your report. Historical fiction is enjoyable to read, and there's some historical fiction written for very young children that you can read in 30 minutes or less. So it is doable for you to read these books and have your assignment ready. Now I want to show you one other link. You've got these links to the Wikibooks. You've got this link to the actual reading assignment. This is what I'm afraid might be a bit of a challenge, to read all of this plus your books before the due date. But if you look at, like, here's traditional tales, here's poetry. Let's just look at poetry, because this is one of the ones that you'll need to find one poetry book. And it's not linking. So I'm going to go back, and I'm glad I can show you this. Now let me show you. This is the link that was from the EBSCOhost. But what we'll need to do is we're going to need to use that link that's given to us by Joiner Library. And it's right under announcements. And so you want to be sure and bookmark this right here. See, reminder from Canvas, new link. It's this one right here. And see, this is from Joiner Library. Access your textbook here. If I click on this one, it takes me directly to the eTextbooks portal, and I have never had any problem with that. It's just that you have to put in 4950, our course number, for it to search. And there it was already in place. But right there, you click on that, and it'll take you right to our textbook. And let's just look at poetry for children. And you'll see it describes the characteristics of this genre. Mother Goose is one of the examples of poetry for children. There's some links to some online poetry that you can quickly go to. So I'm going to let you investigate this. Now, going back to the assignment, and right here to the Module 2 reading log. Now, I've shown you the instructions, that Word document. These links to the Wikibooks, and go back and use the link to the Joiner Library eTextbooks for your textbook reading. But then here are the instructions: 2 types of fantasy, 2 types of multicultural, and 2 types of traditional literature. And then this goes on to tell you exactly how you're going to write those reports on those 3 different genres of literature. Now, let me go back to the module, and you will see I have added a link for the multicultural and also for the traditional. If you go into this link right here, this will take you to a library, a children's library. You don't need to sign in. You can just go right directly to read books. I would say select English books just to save yourself some time. And in this digital library, there are plenty of multicultural books as well as folk tales and folklore. There's even, I think, some like modern fantasy that you could find in here, and it's all online. Let's just look at this one right here. This one's Adventures of a Nepali Frog. I would say that's multicultural. Now, that's a pretty long book, and some of these books are long, but there are plenty that are short reads. And so you've got them right there, and you don't have to have anything but even your phone. You can view these on your phone. So now let's look at, just to make sure you understand, and I'm repeating this because I think it may help clarify when I repeat. The instructions are linked here. There's an extra source right there, the International Children's Digital Library. Now let's look at the Dropbox. This is how you'll be graded. Identify and define the genre of 2 modern fantasy books. Explain how each book fits in the genre. In other words, you have to understand what the characteristics of the genre in order to connect them to the books you read. Then you identify the reading audience. That would just be their age and developmental level, their cultural background, that sort of thing. Then you're going to read multicultural literature, 2 of those, and then you're going to read the traditional, 2 of those. When you write up these reports, then you will submit your document to the Dropbox. I'm going to go back one more time and show you the link to the course textbook right here. Reminder from Canvas, new link from Canvas Administrator. This is the one sent to us by Joiner Library. I'd click on this first one because I have never had any problem with that. And it will take you, you do have to say search for 4950 because there are a lot of e-textbooks in Joiner Library. And there's ours. Quick, you can recognize the title, you can recognize my name as one of the instructors, and then you just go right into that, and you can read as much as possible the assigned pages, like on traditional tales, contemporary, etc., fantasy. I hope this is helpful for you. I know this video is long, but I wanted to clarify for you, make sure you understand, because if you don't understand step by step, then it's just going to add to the time you need to finish up the assignment and try to get it done by the due date. I usually don't grade immediately. If probably be next Monday before I'm finished grading. And so I won't even know if you submit late until I come to your name on the grade sheet. So just do the best you can, and I look forward to reading your report.